Now, there's two ways to become a judge in Illinois. One way is that you can be elected, which is why we're all here tonight. The second way is that those elected judges can choose you as an associate judge. Now, Sunil, he ran for associate judge 4 times. And after the third, there were some judges who took him under their wing, and they really worked to help him to make sure that he was going to be able to make it. And the 4th try, he did make it. And the moment he got into that courtroom, the moment that he got there, the philosophy of Judge Brady, it set in. And for Sunil, and I just love the way that he put this, because I asked him, I'm like, tell me about why this is so important to you. And he said, to me, in the courtroom, it is the perception of fairness that matters most. That is the goal of the court. Because for that person who is in there, that person who's coming before you, that case, that is the most important thing that's happening in their life right now. It may not be the most important thing that's happening for the lawyers. It may not be the most important thing for the people who work in the court, for the sheriff, for the bailiff. They may not care. That's just work for them. But for that person, that is the most important thing, and he wants to honor that. So for every litigant who comes into his courtroom, he wants to make sure that they felt as though he understood the weight, the gravity of their case. He wants them to feel that for the time they were in there, that was the most important thing to him. And he does this with the tone of his voice, the words that he chooses, because he wants them to understand and feel listened to, that even if they didn't get the outcome they wanted, they felt like this man cared about me in that moment. And I think that is a beautiful philosophy, an absolutely beautiful philosophy. So that was 11 months ago. He gets the associate judgeship, which I think we were all celebrating that. And we were so happy that he had gotten that. And then this new sub-circuit opens up. And the Democratic Party, they come to him and they say, you're our guy. We want you to run. So he had 23 days to get all of the signatures together because it was real quick. They didn't give him much time. And so he had to get that to get on the ballot. He does it, but he's not the only one who does it. Unlike the school board race, this is a contested race. And in this particular instance, because it's contested, he's in a position where we have to make sure that he ends up being able to make it to the other side. Because that 500 votes I told you about, that matters. These elections, they come down to a handful of votes. So I asked him, just like what you heard, I asked him at some point, I was like, you just got to be a judge? Like, why do you want to do the elected thing? Like, explain this to me. And what he said really, really impacted me. He said, look, if I become an elected judge, yes, I get to deal with bigger cases, but I also have the opportunity to help people like myself, people who are underrepresented. I have the opportunity to make sure that more people who care about fairness, honesty, that kind of his type of philosophy, that those people can come in and be part of the judiciary. And I think that's really, really important. And he's going to tell you more about that in just a few minutes.